Hey. All right, Virgos, come on, let's get into this. I think we got to get some little message here for Virgo. This is kind of a bonus midweek here, but we've got a 9 of sacred circles. This is Virgos getting some kind of energetic applause, I'll say, from the universe. Like Virgo's true inner self is matching with the things that they're actually doing in their external world, is matching with kind of like their connection to their higher self, the universe. Everything feels like it's in alignment. Virgo is maybe really good at listening to their guides, and their guide is a big old bird sitting right there. It's like Virgo has this I don't know, kind of like an invisible little buddy that's with them at all times, helping to guide them. But let's go ahead and take a look. Since that bird is so prominent, what is the message? Knight of Cups sideways. Okay, so there's a strong encouragement for Virgo to keep listening to divine, messaging from whomever, whatever their guides are saying, whatever the divine energy is, about love, about emotions. Virgo, give, receive, pursue, accept. If somebody wonderful is coming toward Virgo, trying to offer Virgo something, and Virgo wants to say yes, or if Virgo wants to go towards somebody and say something wonderful, it's like, don't hold back on those things. And with the Sun card upright, it is very much about happiness. It's about the happiness Virgo can have, can achieve. It's about the love, the delight, the energy that Virgo should be able to give and receive, should be illuminated. We have the Lover's card. Lover's card is, it's about romance, obviously, in this deck, very specifically, but it's usually a card of choice. I kind of feel like the biggest confusion to me in this story, because this isn't confusing at all. This is very blunt. We have Leo, we have Gemini, we have happiness, and romance is right there for Virgo. This is the confusion. If Virgo is so perfectly aligned with how they feel, the way Virgo feels about somebody is maybe very true. The instincts that Virgo has about somebody are very true. All of this is governed by authenticity. Then why do we have this card sideways? I don't know. Is this the encouragement from Virgo's guide to say, then take action, Virgo, toward the person that you're thinking about? Or is this to say, open up an energetic doorway and welcome them to take action toward you? So let's see if we can pin that down, because it could go either way. Knight of Pentacles. Again, our knights are action takers, but for Virgo to keep on the same pathway is what it says. Whatever Virgo's thought process has been, specifically about love, this says Virgo's on the right path. Virgo has a great love story up ahead for them. And I don't think it's too far away, because Virgo's already done a lot of the, say Virgo's been scrubbing their heart clean of some old hurt and pain. It's like, keep scrubbing one's heart clean of old hurt and pain, because it's doing really well. Virgo is coming across every day like they're getting happier. You see that Virgo's walked under the rainbow. We see that Virgo's got all the dominoes laid out just right. And it's like, keep cleaning your heart, keep cleaning up how you feel about love, because this is preparing you, Virgo. Okay, so hang on. Justice card. If Virgo has been, I'm going to say, cleaning the way they felt about something that felt very unjust. I don't know if there was a Libra involved. I don't know if Virgo was left in a lot of pain, a lot of frustration, a lot of hurt. This is definitely Virgo getting over that pain, that hurt, and the thing that was done wrong. If Virgo had been, either juggling, anytime somebody does us dirty, and it does look like Virgo's like, I never even knew who they were. That's the truth of it. At the end of the day, they did me so wrong. Love did me dirty. This Libra did me dirty. And I think if Virgo has been healing their heart, not healing, cleaning. I think that that's an interesting way to say this, but Virgo has been cleaning their heart from the way they felt about all of this. And I think that Virgo was first trying to make peace with it, trying to figure this person out, spent considerable time trying to figure out who this person was. Both of these cards show me that Virgo was playing this chess game in their mind. And this says Virgo has actually come to a conclusion. They have won the chess game. Whatever answer they have settled on in regards to this person who obviously Virgo felt did them very, very wrong. It's like Virgo has come to the greatest sense of, like, their higher self is speaking loud and clear. Virgo worked through maybe anger, devastation, rage, all the emotions that we feel when we feel like we got done hard done by. And I wonder if Virgo has alternately spent time, like, oh, I hate this person. They were horrible. They should never be allowed around me. Or like, I don't know, maybe I never knew what went on with this person. Maybe I should send them, like, I just wish them well because I loved them once upon a time. And that's still true. I feel like Virgo had been ripped in half with their emotions. I hate them. I love them. I miss them. I want them. I never want to see them again. I mean, I think it's very relatable. I think anybody who's been through something where they feel like they got done badly by somebody who they loved, it's such a mixture of emotions and everything is so, and you keep thinking like, why did I deserve this? Or why did they do this to me? Or was that their intention? Or, how should I feel about this? I'm so angry. I'm so hurt, but I still want it, but I want it to be different. How can I forgive? Do I have to forgive? All of that. That's what Virgo's been scrubbing through, thinking through. It's been a long process, laying up all those dominoes just right. That's been a long process. Getting happier day by day, coming to a more divine conclusion day by day until Virgo has basically chess gamed their thoughts out to where Virgo wins. Virgo was always going to win this chess game because it was just against themselves, thinking through things, muddling through, why did this happen? What on earth was this all about for me? How do I make peace with this? Am I even supposed to make peace with this? Were they a lesson? What did this all mean? And Virgo has come to this very divine space, is at least what the universe has to say here. Virgo has reached, with the Chariot, they've reached this amazing, like, I'm going to say sense of peace, sense of conclusion, Temperance. We keep seeing angel wings all over this, right? So if all of this has been about Virgo coming to the answer within themselves, the divine answer, and that's what we saw here. Virgo is single in this storyline, but completely like on track, their inner voice of who they truly are. I don't think it's Virgo as somebody who tends to get mean or vindictive by nature at all. And maybe for a little while they felt that way, they felt anger and hurt inside. I hope that person, gets punished by the universe. And now Virgo's like, that's not even who I am. I don't wish stuff like that on people. For all I know, maybe they did the best they could do. I just feel like Virgo has come back to a place of real peace and balance inside themselves. Because ultimately, what other people do, even people that are selfish or something, they have to contend with whatever their actions were. Virgo just needed to come back to center and not lose any of who Virgo really is. I think Virgo is probably typically a very kind, very generous, very intelligent person who got really badly hurt. And they were really just trying to make sense of it and going through all the feels. And now we see that this Virgo is they're very much back to who they truly are. I think this Virgo has a really big heart. I think that their actions reflect who they are internally. And I think that they listen pretty closely to their guides and their higher self. And the guides have been saying, Virgo, you processed the way a human does. You went through all the feels and you kept looking for, how do I get beyond this? Or how do I, cleanse myself of the way I've been feeling about this? So I think this is a very hard experience for our Virgo. And to their great credit, I think this Virgo, worked on getting back their sense of calm, their sense of peace, their identity, the way they genuinely typically deal with things. I just think that this was so painful for our Virgo. They really had to scrub their, if our Virgo was really focused on this person did me wrong and I just can't get over it. I think Virgo is not typically somebody who holds on to things like that. Because it would make you bitter, right? Holding on to anything like that it'll hurt us more to hold on to it than to say, universe, I surrender this. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they intended to cause me grief, but I have to go ahead and just move toward, getting centered and grounded again, because that's who I typically am. And I just feel like that's what the guides have been saying to Virgo. You have worked through things and come full circle. You felt the feels, you worked through them, you processed them, and now here you are, who you've always been, which is somebody you got strong convictions about being peaceful, about being kind. That's an amazing thing. So on one hand, Virgo is back to like loving themselves, and they are moving on from the way they used to feel, which is great because now they can move forward with their emotions. But what does it mean in regards to the person who kind of put Virgo through hell? What does that mean? Hanged Man. Look, I don't know, but the person who really caused grief to Virgo, this could not be comfortable for them. Using all their power, all their energy to try to sit here and hold themselves back and try to consider what they're going to do next. I don't know if their whole life got put on hold, but hanging upside down would not be comfortable. This person is not having a good time. They have a 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't know if their whole life was suddenly put on hold because of money. I don't know if something went belly up in their world. This literally could be somebody who has no capacity to make any changes in their life right now because of, let's say, I'm in a scenario where somebody has absolutely no balance in their life. No monetary balance. This could be like they're in deep debt and they got in trouble like legally, or somebody took them to court and now all their assets are frozen and they can't move around. They don't have any spare money. They have no money for anything. They are also struggling because of, some frozen assets or some legalities. And I only bring all this up because of that Libra scales, right? The Libra scales. That can be the legal system. But if they were trapped in some kind of imbalanced legal struggle, and all of their, look, money is not the most important thing in the world, of course not. But when money is used as a weapon to prevent somebody from, moving about and doing what they wish in life, now money's really important, right? And it just says they have a lack of abundance, a lack of peace in their life, and they're stuck waiting. And they're waiting in two different ways because we see two people here. By the way, they could be a Pisces. Like I said, they could be a Libra. They could be, and I will say we also did have Cancerian in this as well, and Sagittarius in this, and Gemini. Now we bring in some Aries. They are waiting for the day that they can take this huge leap forward, and they too can be here in the rainbow energy. What does that mean in regards to Virgo? It's just interesting that we see the rainbow twice. They think about Virgo a great deal. They think about telling Virgo the truth, that maybe they literally only had pennies to their name. They think about telling Virgo, and like this is this bright idea that they have to actually maybe explain the entire, you notice how complicated this sketching and drawing is. We've got like this whole city skyline, we've got rain clouds, we've got all kinds of stuff penciled in to the sky here. And they think all the time about just telling Virgo everything, specifically about their money troubles. This person got into huge monetary struggles. Queen of Wands. If they think about telling Virgo, I wanted to transform my life in order to be with Virgo because I wanted to be in an equitable, lion-lioness relationship, an emperor-empress relationship. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be with, it was never a question about like love or attraction or anything like that. But it's like they're trying to figure out, should they say something? They wait for the day that they can take that leap of faith and then say it. But I don't even understand why you wouldn't have already said this to Virgo. Why would you not have already explained all this? Strength card. It keeps coming up with there's some kind of energy where they either felt Virgo was stronger than them, Virgo was so much more attractive than them, Virgo is a lioness who deserves, somebody to be able to speak to them as a lion. Virgo has this power, this strength. Maybe they were intimidated by that. Maybe unless they could speak to Virgo on the same footing, they themselves could not find the courage to say everything. Because that is a question mark of courage. So you wait for the day that you actually are going to take this leap of faith. We've got the Page of Coins in the reverse. I don't know if that's a pipe dream. This says they're not saying a peep, not word one, to Virgo. But you would rather let Virgo feel like really hurt, like there was an injustice done. We have the Hierophant and the Six of Swords. look, I'm not saying that this is giving them a pass at all, okay? But what they're saying is, trust me, it was better that Virgo, I didn't hold on to Virgo or tell them about my struggles. It's better. I tried to make sure my higher self told me, don't let Virgo know anything about my struggles, even if it makes Virgo sad that I don't tell them anything and I've withdrawn. Let Virgo go. Virgo should be out of harm's reach. Like if my life is imploding, the less Virgo knows about it, the better. I know it, maybe it seems like I did Virgo hard, but Virgo, I set them free on purpose, Six of Swords, and I intentionally didn't tell them anything. That's what I thought the best choice was. Even if it caused pain, it was still, Virgo gets to be clear and clean of everything to do with me while I have this mess to clean up. They may have also, somewhere in all of this, I don't know if they thought, like, this is the bridge that hasn't been crossed yet, but if they want to marry Virgo, maybe they thought it's exactly the reason why I can't have Virgo involved in my mess. If I have all these money problems and legal problems and all of that, I don't want Virgo to ever think that I married them so they can help me out of my legal issues. I don't want to bring up dating. I don't want to, or more of a connection with Virgo. If they're ever going to have to question whether or not I wanted to be with them just as like my escape route so they could help me get out of my problems. I really think, at least the way this person is saying it seems like they think that was the best route to take. And somehow, like, silence, not breathing a word of all of this, somehow was still the better choice. Maybe it was so Virgo had deniability. I don't know what the heck they got themselves into, but it looks like their life was in shambles, big shambles. And they kind of kept Virgo clear of it until they're clear of this problem. So ultimately, you want to tell Virgo everything when you can. Is that day approaching? I mean, we have them still in like procrastination, or we have the moon. I don't know. All of this says they're being kept in the dark. They too don't know. Maybe they're waiting on a judgment to come down from the legal system. We have Empress and we have Six of Pentacles sideways. They don't know. They do not know. This could go in their favor. This could not go in their favor. It definitely feels like they're waiting on like a legal judgment or something. In the meantime, let's go back over to Virgo. Actually, let's change decks. Let's go back to Virgo for just a second and say, so universe, what is the message for Virgo? Because this Virgo has obviously worked through this hurt and pain. They have reached a point where their heart is clear. They are truly the best version of themselves. Virgo is in this wonderful, like, balanced energy now. Again, we have this Virgo in amazing energy, right? Now we have the Six of Pentacles. Virgo's ready to nest. Virgo, there's that bluebird coming in. This is Virgo, keep making choices about your home, your career, the things that Virgo is preparing themselves more and more to be in a really wonderful connection. We have a Three of Cups. Look, if Virgo's heart is all cleaned up and they're no longer hurt or angry and they're back to themselves, this all says it's great because Virgo's relationship time is coming really soon. We've got that Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Here it comes. Ten of Wands. Virgo's about to be so completely just like, it's almost like this hurt and pain is something they didn't even ever go through. So it's a very clean slate, which is perfect because we have a King of Cups coming in. So the universe is like, Virgo, all of this, you're ready for love. Does this King of Cups have anything to do with that person of the past? We've got that Chariot card, but it did come out sideways. Can I get one more so I can understand that? I don't know what that means. Three of Pentacles. I almost feel like depending on whether or not this is really meant to be, depending on whether or not their intentions were really true, if they wanted to truly protect Virgo, and they had all these altruistic reasons to not let Virgo know what the heck was going on with them, and they really meant that, then it could be them that is showing up. On the other hand, if there was anything about them that is not in Virgo's greatest and highest good, it's like, no, somebody else, this King of Cups will come in first and they'll be a different person. But Virgo will someday hear from them. And I don't know. This is like, I'm 50-50 split on this. Either Virgo This very well could be them, that life will clear up for them. They'll actually be able to come into Virgo's world, or this is where these pathways separate and they're not going to come back into Virgo's world until much later. Either way, we see Virgo in great happiness. So whatever's in Virgo's greatest and highest good, but they're ready for it. Bye, guys. Thanks for being